You ever hear about Scarface, the lion from Kenya's Masai Mara? Not the movie character. I mean the real one. The lion who wore his battle wounds like a crown. Man, let me tell you, this lion wasn't just any big cat. He was a living legend, a warrior, a ruler, and in many ways a symbol of what it means to survive. If you ever step foot in the Mara and ask a ranger or local guide about Scarface, I guarantee their face will light up with that same mix of admiration and sadness. Because he wasn't just famous, he was unforgettable. Let me take you back to where it all started. The Rise of a Prince, 2008 to 2010. Scarface was born around 2008, somewhere in the Mara Triangle, a remote and protected corner of the greater Masai Mara ecosystem. He was part of a litter that included three brothers, Morani, Hunter, and Sikkiyo. From the start, they were close, closer than blood, like a unit, a true coalition. They grew up fast in a brutal world. In the Mara, only the strong survive, and even then, only if you're lucky. Lions in the wild have to learn early how to fight, hunt, and defend. Cubs face dangers from rival males, hyenas, and even starvation. But these four had something special. They weren't just tough, they were together. By the time they hit maturity, they were strong, bold, and ready to make a move. The Battle for Power, 2011. 2011 was a turning point. At this time, the Marsh Pride was one of the most famous lion prides in the world, featured on BBC's Big Cat Diary and National Geographic. But the pride needed new leadership. That's when Scarface and his brothers made their move. The takeover wasn't peaceful. In fact, it was brutal. There was blood, roaring, and war cries that echoed across the savannah. But after the dust settled, the four brothers emerged as the new rulers of the Marsh Pride.
It was during one of these battles that Scarface got his iconic injury, a slash across his right eye, which never fully healed. The wound gave him a rugged, fearsome look, like a gladiator who had stared death in the face and smiled. That scar, that's how he got the name.
And from that moment, a legend was born, the King of the Mara 2012 to 2017. For the next several years, Scarface and his coalition ruled over a vast territory that stretched across the Marsh Pride lands. Together, they controlled one of the largest lion territories in the entire Masai Mara, covering several prides and dozens of lionesses and cubs. What made them so successful wasn't just strength, it was their bond. Scarface didn't rule alone. His brothers stood by his side, hunting, mating, and defending. They were like the Mapogo lions of the Mara, feared by rivals and respected by all. Scarface himself had this aura. Even with that wounded eye, he walked with a majestic swagger. Tourists from all over the world came to catch a glimpse of him. Wildlife photographers followed his every move. And yet, he never acted like a celebrity. He remained wild, fierce, and deeply connected to his land. His presence was intimidating. Lions would submit. Rivals would avoid confrontation. He didn't need to roar to show he was king. You just knew. Battles, wounds, and brotherhood. 2013 to 2018. Life in the wild is never easy, even for kings. Scarface's reign wasn't without challenge. Over the years, he and his brothers fought off younger male coalitions, sometimes outnumbered, sometimes injured, but they always held their ground. There were times Scarface looked badly hurt, limping, bleeding, weakened. Rangers even thought he might not make it a few times, but somehow he always bounced back, like he had this unshakable will to live. His scarred face, torn ears, and aging body told stories of survival, of a lion who refused to fall before his time. What's amazing is, despite all the battles, his bond with his brothers never wavered. You'd often see them nuzzling, sleeping side by side, or taking turns protecting the females and cubs. Their unity was their greatest strength. And Scarface? He was their anchor. The slow fade, 2019 to 2021. By 2019, things started to change. Scarface was aging. His movements slowed, his mane faded, and his once mighty roar became softer. His coalition had shrunk. Hunter and Sikkiyo passed away, and eventually only Morani remained. The Marsh Pride was taken over by new younger males. The era of Scarface as the reigning king had come to an end. But unlike many dethroned lions who die violently, Scarface's final years were strangely peaceful. Rangers noticed that even the younger lions seemed to respect his presence, often leaving him alone. Like even in old age, the legend of Scarface protected him. In the final months, he was often seen alone, resting under the shade of acacia trees, watching the plains where he once ruled. Skinny, limping, and slow. Yes, but still proud. He died peacefully on June 11th, 2021, at the age of 13 or 14, a full life for a lion in the wild. He was born like a king, lived like a king, and died peacefully. Like a king, he is Scarface.